I gotta turn that off. I don't want to hear myself. Alright. Just checking the actual feed. Everything looks good. What I'm doing is, instead of using the software, it's like a web browser inside the software. I find it to be a little dark, it's just, and it's clunky. So what I'm going to do is what I did is I opened up my actual browser that I use on the forum, and it'll show what I see, on my end. Hopefully everything will go pretty clean here. I like the lighter background and the availability, the ability to interact on my browser. I'm going to try that. And what I need to do is have the chat window open with my browser. I got to figure out how to do that. So let me try to go back to the browser here. There you go. See if I can. I'm gonna move it over to the side so I can see it. Let's see. Okay, how come he disappeared? Try to figure this one out. That should show up. Oh. It doesn't. Actually, I can use the software to scroll and then just jump back into, if I need to make a change, like visit another forum. I got the stained glass patterns open now. Every now and then I go into stained glassers to see what's going on there. This is my, weekly or thereabout. I like to update my YouTube channel to get a feel of the direction of the forum, what the current topics are, and do a little archiving just to look back on, and where folks can visit later on, see what's going on that time of the year, or month, or what have you. I'm going to be doing this on a normal basis, just for, again, archiving purposes. In 10 years you look back and you say, oh, yeah, that was going on. There's really no other way of doing that. You can go into the forum and see what's going on and look back at history and this and that. But the YouTube recording gives me the opportunity to share my feedback and live, make it so I kind of get a feel for what I was thinking that day, if that makes any sense. So without further ado, I will run down the forum and comment on posts. I'm going to go back to the forum. Let's see, we're going to go ahead and we are live. That's me. Newest activity. That seems to work the best. Alright. If I need to comment or do administrative things, I have to jump back to my browser, which is not a big deal. It's easy. I could easily click in and out. So I'm going to go back to the software, the OBS software, just to keep an eye on the chat. Alright, so I could scroll it in the background, which is kind of neat. Alright. Yeah, I can scroll that too. I can, alright. Hey, now it's working. Alright, it's limited in the height. That's the problem. Okay. not a problem. It's just the video limitations of the window of the video. I can easily, go over key elements in a post. So that's mostly important. Okay, let's go start with Lenka Kindlova. Okay, lamps are traditional butterflies. Okay, she's showing off her, I guess, 3D art lamps and butterflies on stands. Very pretty. Nice colors, Lenka. Very nice colors. Alright. Let's go. Scroll down. I have collected leftovers from solder. Does anyone have any advice on how to melt and reuse safely? You shouldn't have leftovers. You should be using them for your side. All those little drops, as you make them, as they appear, just grab one. Just hit it with your iron. Pick it up. Instead of holding the iron with the tip in a downward position or angled downward, you hit the solder blob with the tip angled down. Then you gently levitate the tip so the iron is horizontal. It'll hold that solder on that iron till you lift the handle up again and drop the tip where you want it. So all those little solder blobs, if they're consistent with 60-40, use them right on the side of your piece. Or you could actually, drop them on top of the foil and remelt them. No reason to have accumulated so much. But to answer your question, you could use, they have these lead melting kits. It's like they sell them in fishing tackle shops, to make lead weights. It's basically an iron pot with a ladle and a hot plate that gets pretty hot, and all that solder will melt. And you use the ladle, you scoop it up, or pour the molten solder into forms. As far as stained glass goes, you can't really make your own wire, solder wire. So just as they pop up when you're doing your work, they pop up. Just grab them and use them again. That's my advice. Geez, I hope my audio is on. Yeah, it's on. Last time I was doing a live feed, the audio was off. Embarrassing. Well, I was doing a recording. It was all. I had to redo it. Yeah, Suzanne. Thank you, Suzanne. You said exactly what I was saying. Yeah. There are things you can do, but that's the most, to avoid accumulating so much. Use them as you go. All right. Let's see. I'm gonna go live chat. Let's make sure. If you have subscribed to my channel, you'll get the alert that I am live, which is handy if you don't want to miss live recording. These are all going to be archived and available for viewing later on. So if you did come to the forum and you posted something that you wanted a little bit more feedback from me, or questions from users on my live feed, you'll get it here. All right. So let's go on to Renee. Renee, the complainers. Oh no. There seems to be a lot these days. For good and bad reasons. I'm not going to dig into the complainers, why they complain, but yeah, it seems that you're on the internet, people they throw away their politeness. They just, I'm miles away. you're not going to get me. I'm just going to complain and, be somebody I'm not, just because I'm, untouchable. I guess people complain. They complain about everything on the internet, Facebook groups, and then a lot just say, they go back later and say, I shouldn't have said that. They delete it. I do that myself. I mean, I say things and I say, I wasn't thinking. I made a post. Oh, by the way, your bear is great. I mean, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut that off, but yeah, you're gonna have people loving it and hating it. It is what it is. So I say deal with it, but you could respond to complainers in a nice way. Doing it. Showing compassion to their complaint. That's probably the best thing. Sometimes that's difficult. Trust me. All right. Let's see. Cuts the well too. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. It's very nice. Velvet black. Just found another. Yeah. These groups and pages popping up everywhere. Just stealing content. Hi Cindy, good morning. I have the chat window open, so I have to have it open. I like to see who visits. Actually, I'm going to start giving away patterns and stuff to people who chat. Hey Cindy, hit me up in Messenger, and you could do it. I don't want you to post your personal information, but you can hit me up in Messenger, send me your address. I've got a little gift for you. All right? If it's just going to be stuff I'm collecting. I'm in the process of doing product trials. If I have mentioned it, but I didn't want to mention too much. I'm going to be trying out different, new and old products, and basically giving reviews on YouTube on what my I like to say professional opinion is, but it's going to be my non-objective opinion. So if you just send me, I guess if you're on Facebook, hit me up in Messenger. Just send me your address. I got a little gift for you, and just remind me that I did commit to it. I was on YouTube. I said I got a gift. Just kidding. But yeah, I could send you a book. I got a ton of books I want to start giving away. You've seen my books on my publisher website. I've got a whole stack of them now, and they're not serving me any good. These are books that I have to proofread, make sure that they are accepted, that I accept them. And I got a whole pile of them now. I want to start giving them away. And they will be signed copies. Not that it matters. I'm not bloating here. It's going to be a signed copy of one of my books, one of my products that I'm testing. I currently have quite a few of the Toyo TC10 cutter heads that I have a little experiment I'm working on. I have some those what are those handle things for the cutters. I have a few of them. I have other foiling tools. I have a whole bunch of stuff. I want to just start giving it away for people who come up, show interest in my chat or my YouTube. So if I'm trying to coerce you to chat, yeah, go ahead, say something. No, I appreciate you coming here and saying hello and just keeping me company. That goes to anyone else. If you chat, I'm gonna gift. Here we go. I'm not gonna say it. If I say it, I'm gonna get 1 million people chatting. So if you're here, if you're watching, my way of saying thank you will be a gift, and that's gonna be a physical gift. I mean, I'll send digital gifts too, but nothing like getting something in the mail. All right. Let's see. Let's get back. Just trying to. Yeah, they're sharing all this. These pages. I don't know. I report them every time I see them. I don't hold back. I said, it's a scam. It's fraud. It's it. YouTube comes back. Not YouTube. Facebook comes back and says, doesn't go against the standards. But you know what? You feel like you're beating a dead horse, but if you keep doing it, I think eventually it's going to take hold, and these people are going to be, held accountable. One of the big things Facebook frowns on is fake profiles. If you're a fake person or trying to drum up business as a fake person, and you're scamming people, they don't like it. And why they don't act on it, and my requests are sincere. I just don't know why. Maybe they will someday. So don't give up hope. I'm still working on it. All right, how do most of you sign your work? Yeah, etching is fine. John, he's right. Sometimes you make a mistake and you don't spell your name right. It could be a problem. Just kidding, John. Yeah, look at that. You could see that. Okay, that's good. I use a real simple process, and most of my work is done with lead anyway. And what I do is the outer border typically would have a thicker lead, like say 1/4 inch round top lead. It's very simple. I take a ballpoint pen. The Bic, standard plastic Bics actually work good because the ball on that ballpoint pen, it runs smooth over lead, and you literally sign the window right on the lead, giving pressure, pushing down, and it comes out. I mean, and the amazing thing is the lead actually makes you write neater. So whether you're signing in script or, I just write Downey Stained Glass and then the date. It comes out perfect. You amaze yourself how neat it looks. And then once you're done signing it, you indent it. There's like an indentation. You just kind of wipe it, and it pops up really nice. And it's permanent, and it's right in the lead. Older studio, Tiffany Studios, and my family company, we used brass tags that was stamped. Tiffany, I don't know, they probably stamped them as well, and then the tag itself is put into or soldered onto your piece in an inconspicuous area, typically, on the inside of a lamp or on a window. A lot of artists will paint their actual name, their studio right on the glass, the old stained glass windows, and fire it in the kiln, and that becomes a permanent signature. Etching on glass is permanent as well, but I mean, I'll tell you, those etchers, I have a mechanical one, not mechanical, one that vibrates, and it just looks sloppy, unless you're good with it. I mean, and then they got the diamond etchers. If you're good with it, by all means, use that. But they're also hard to see. Not that you want them to stand out, but doing it on the lead, I tell people, I said, yeah, it's signed. In the bottom right hand corner of the window, you will see somewhere in a postcard area of the window my signature. And then they see it and they're like, oh, okay. That's what I do. You can't do that with copper foil, but you make a, I guess, be creative. All right, Toshio Nakajima. Yeah. So you know what I should do, Cindy? I should grab a book. No special rhyme or reason. But here, the first book on the top. This is 100 teardrops, stained glass patterns. Now this one is not coil bound. This is the standard binding, but the patterns are very clear. You can bend back the binding. It's just as good as the coil bound, but you can't fold the page over and work on it. But it's easy enough to open a book, and I'm going to do a video actually how to scan a pattern from a book and immediately print it using your iPhone. And I don't have what are those? I don't even Androids. I don't have one, but on an iPhone, I'll show you how to open up a book, take your phone, scan it into Notes app, and print it with a Wi-Fi printer. So the first thing my gift today will be the 100 Teardrops stained glass pattern book, and I will sign it, and that's for you, Cindy. Just again, shoot me a email. You could probably get me here, I would think, or message on Facebook with your mailing address, and that's for you. That's for being kind and visiting me on my channel. I'll show you I'll show you the book, but you know what it looks like. It's one with the bee and the honey, and it's got 100 patterns in it. It retails for this one. It's not on sale. It retails over $50. It's a really nice book. It's the first of. I'm going to be doing Teardrops 2. So it'll be the first 100 Teardrops. Then I'm going to call the second one, more Teardrops. What have you. But it's going to have additional newer teardrops and possibly other designs as well. But we're going to put that one aside for you and send it out as soon as possible. All right? Let's see. Back to the forum. All right. Toshio. Sorry, Toshio. I made it based on the image. Excuse me, I got one of them sinus colds again. It's horrible. All right, that's interesting. I think there's a language barrier here, but I think you're making I don't know, fantasy teardrops. I'm not familiar, but it looks nice, very nice. All right, Amy. I hope you like your book, Cindy. I think if you haven't already, let me know. I'll send you another book. Or I'll send you, something else. Maybe I'll just keep it a surprise. If you already have something I send you, just pass it on. I don't know. I just want to, show my appreciation. That's all. If you already have that book, I also have a lot of other books. I have stained glass spinners, the 44. I have the alphabet stained glass in the two versions, Art Deco and traditional abstract. I have the hardcover, which is going to be in stores, and already is. It's going to be in stores and at public libraries and all that. It's actually a hardcover book. I can give that away. I have that same book in a soft cover. I have two of them. I have stained glass Teardrops 2. It has it's like a supplementary book. You can see all the books on my author page. I have 2 copies of that. I've got another hardcover of the abstract alphabet. 44 spinners. Teardrops 2. Another one of those. And there's so many more. I got our favorite Teardrops 100. Yeah, another. I have another version that was supposed to be going for another publishing goal. I have 2 of them, our favorite Teardrops 100. I've got more. So If you already have that, the 100 teardrops, let me know. I'll send you another. Hello from Nashville, Tennessee. Ellen. Hi. Hi, Ellen. I'm reading your thing. My eyes are a little blurry. I am new to stained glass and follow your several Facebook pages. I too have seen a flood of new groups on my feed as well. Yeah, just be careful. Just what you do is you check to see how many people, how many followers, and if you read the post, if someone immediately says, "Hey, you're ripping somebody off," just report the page. I really don't know how to handle it other than just report it. I mean, you could write nasty things. I always say, "You're a thief. Go away. I hate you." There's a place for people like this. I mean, I try not to comment like that, but I just simply say, fake page, you should be ashamed, or what have you. I mean, there's somebody there doing it. It's not a bot. Some people think it's a bot doing it. No, these are real people. They have a sick agenda. They're doing it to subvert the pages that they plagiarize. They grab images. Anyone could copy and paste an image and text and claim it's their own. And basically what that does is it subverts the indexing from Facebook, and then eventually works its way up into main search engines like Google and Bing. And when you see mirrored content from a search engine, I think I discussed this, the search engine blacklists either both links because it's saying someone's spamming, it's spam, or they'll grab one and delete the other one. And if they grab the person doing the plagiarizing and delete the original, they won. So that's their goal. And the little trick they do, maybe I shouldn't be saying this, they add content. They add a little, courtesy of, or, credit to, and then someone's name. So that little added content now supersedes the original. In other words, it's showing that there's a change in that text content. Search engines search for that text. That's their search results. So if there's added content, new content, boom, they get rid of the old stuff. So that's what they're doing. It really is. It's scummy. I use the word. It's scummy that people are doing this, but they are real people. I nailed it down to some woman who's associated herself with other folks that are known spammers. I don't know how or why she does it, but she's there. I reported it. I don't even want to look back at what I did because it's very frustrating, and it's disturbing. So anyway, let's see. Yeah. Do you have one posting here that names all these fake pages? Comment on the fakeness and see. Well, yeah, I started a list of pages that are plagiarizing. It's basically, I'm not linking to them. If you link to them, you're just making more problems. Just call them out by name. If you see it when scrolling through Facebook on your regular feed, not in a group or whatever, and then you see them pop up. So, stained glass patterns, and then you click like, and it's not your fault. It looks like the original page because they're stealing every bit of content from it. So what you want to do is look at I'll try to find one. You look at like here. Like here's Amy. Amy. You could tell that this is Amy's post. If it was one of these fake and phonies, it'll show it the link, and then you'll see. I don't want to point it out here. I'm just going to move on. If you see it, just report it as spam. That's all. Hopefully we'll get ahead of it. I'm going to go back. Yeah, okay. I'm sorry, Amy. She did chickens for her mom. Yeah, I think I've seen this a while ago. Very cute, very colorful. That's from Kat. Kat, yeah, she does amazing pattern artwork. I highly endorse her creativity abilities. So if you need something special, visit Kat. She'll do it for you. I don't know where she finds the time, but she's either really good at it or just that's all she does. She doesn't sleep. Oh, do you have one posted? Okay, long check. All right, Ellen. Also for you, if you would contact me through Messenger, send me your mailing address. I'm not a spammer. I'm going to send you a gift. All right, it's going to be one of my books, or some tool, or digital products I have. I may, it depends. Whatever I feel for the moment. I may just hit you back right in Messenger with a bunch of digital patterns. You just let me know what you like. What's your fancy. You visit my Etsy page. See something you like, just say, hey, yeah, I like these. Well, consider that I'm going to look at what you like and act on it, okay? Just for visiting me on YouTube. I gift quite often, but I do small, one pattern here. I'm talking, if you like a certain pattern, say a patriotic pattern, you'll get in every patriotic pattern I make. There's probably 15 of them. So that's what I mean by a substantially sized gift. If that's even a proper word, but a worthy gift. All right. So just message me what you like. If you like books, I really want to try to keep it like very random, but send me your address. You may get a book. You may get a tool. You may get digital patterns, and if you prefer digital patterns, just let me know. Say, hey, I like heart designs. I like Valentine's. Well, I got quite a few of them, and I am not going to hold back. I'm going to make it worth your while for visiting me. I mean, there's nothing in this Facebook thing other than, not Facebook, YouTube thing, other than my archiving and building a good subscriber base. So I guess you subscribe because you're here or you saw the post, but that's what I'm all about. My goals are going to be for taking products and doing videos on product endorsement. I also have a big contest coming up, which I will announce. I can mention it here because I already did mention it. I have a sponsor, one sponsor so far, Inland Craft. They will they're going to put up a nice product. One of their grinders. I forget which one, but it's going to be one of the prizes in my pattern contest. Now, the pattern contest is not to draw a pattern, but it's going to be a pattern that I make, and people will make the glass, come back, post their finished items, and based on likes they get or comments. So it's going to be algorithms of likes, comments, shares, and all the above, and the final decision by me on who took first prize. All right, and I'm trying to get other vendors involved. I want to hit up Mongo. I mean, he knows it's coming. Maybe creators. I'm gonna get other vendors involved. And I kind of did it on short notice last year, but I wanted to do it a little more professionally, and get the list of contributors, and the vendors, and support them on the group, on my webpage, and everywhere else I can for their gracious gifts for the contest. So stay tuned for that. That's coming. All right, back to the chickens. I'm sorry, Amy. Yeah, they're beautiful. I mean, really. I mean, look at the face. I'm moving on. Let's see. This one's Tommy. Tommy. This post is actually held up in the approval pile that I saw earlier today. I don't know why, but it was held back for review. I just don't know why, but here it is. Sorry, late time posting this, but yeah, Merry Christmas. It really looked nice. I don't know why Facebook considered it to be spam, or if that's what they do. They'll grab posts and put them aside, saying it, check it out. And I did, and I was, oh Jesus, from Christmas. My apologies, but yeah, very nice work. All right, Pedro, a newest gnome group. This one as well. This one was put into the spam folder. I don't know why, Pedro, but here it is. I like your use of different hats and very neatly done. Sorry about the delay. Very nice. All right. Terry. Oh yeah, Terry. She's been making all these cute little chickens with wire work and little. What do you got? Little beads on the end of the wire that are locked on somehow. Little solder. Really cute. And I could see them being big sellers in markets. The flea markets and craft fairs. Very, very nice. And being that they stand on their feet like that, and they're just cute as can be. I love them. I love the yellow canaries, and I've been following your posts. I've seen a lot of them that you've done. I'm very impressed. Yeah. Makes my heart feel so good. Aww. All right. Look, contest. Yeah, I used to do contests all the time. I don't know if anyone's aware of Stained Glassville. It was a very, very well, just as stained glass patterns is I don't know, I'll brag about it, but it's the most popular pattern group on Facebook by member count, but not that it's the most popular. A lot of people hate me, so that's why it's not so popular anymore. But Stained Glassville was the #1 stained glass message board and forum back, I'd say 25 years ago. And we used to do pattern contests. I draw up a pattern, and I'd call the pattern dash, which was a fun one, and no one knew they were coming. I take the pattern. I say the first one to show a completed glass image of it. It's like, don't cut yourself. This is your gift. That was crazy. And I used to give for the first, first, second, third, and most creative use of a pattern. So if you added like hanging jewels or embellishments or what have you, I always admire when folks take patterns and they create their own rendition and or add to it. I mean, the creative side of patterns. That's why I have my open philosophy, my full crafters right endorsement of my patterns, because the pattern is a pattern. It's my property. It ends at the pattern. What you do after you get the pattern is when it all begins, the creative part of it. So creative use license is very broad. You get the pattern, you make what you want out of it. You could sell it, give it, whatever you want to do. Just don't sell the pattern. I retain the rights to that. But the importance of the creativity part of the finished stained glass, and it begins after that pattern's printed. The pattern's just a pattern. I mean, if I'm not making sense or I'm weird, I hope someday I can explain it better. It's like what you do, your creativity with the pattern that I have, and the final product, piece that you make. That's the actual solid creativity part of it. Yeah, the pattern's important, but it's what you do with it. That's why I'll never, ever put restrictions on what you can do with a pattern. I'm not going to say for hobby use that's crazy. Or even commercial. You might make $1 million on Amazon. Go for it. I mean, I'm all in. I have people doing it. Say $1 million, but they no strings attached. You buy the pattern. It's very clear. Don't sell the pattern. I offer my patterns. If you're a teacher, if you've got students and you buy a pattern, print them up. Give them to your students. You already bought the pattern. Why should they have to buy a pattern? You have the pattern. Share it. Just, share it amongst you. I actually made a part of my policy, for teachers that teach stained glass, make unlimited copies for your students. They don't have to buy the pattern. It'd be nice, but if they want to start selling their artwork, you should buy the pattern. That's where the hobby commercial line, I have a gray line there. So if you're using it for school, teaching, personal use, give it away. Give it to them as a teacher. But you have to buy the original pattern. I'm not going to stop you from running the pattern on the copy machine. That's crazy. I hope that made sense. All right, here we go. I saw Nickelodeon. I think it was SpongeBob or somebody. Oh, Squidward. Yeah, and she did a beautiful job. Squidward, one eye open, one eye closed. I mean, it was great. It kills me that I have to delete this stuff. It really does. I can't say it enough. I saw her. I was like, oh, I love Squidward. Kids watch SpongeBob. It was my favorite guy. Squidward. He was great. And to see the pattern made of him, I was like, oh, this is terrific. However, Nickelodeon is one of those top IP people, copyright folks, that frown heavily on infringement or copying their art and putting it elsewhere. It's not a matter of selling it. It's a matter of reproducing or making anything of its likeness to post publicly. I mean, technically, you're not even supposed to give this stuff away. You're not supposed to make it. You're not supposed to copy it. This is the thing about copy. I'm only going to make it for my friend or no. Here's the deal. You make it for a friend, or then someday eventually they say, you know what, I outgrew that. I'm not happy. I'm going to sell it, or garage sale. It ends up on eBay someday. I'm not saying it will, but just say it does, and your work ends up on eBay, and Nickelodeon comes along, and they see it. Well, there's the can of worms. I mean, in most cases, if you call Nickelodeon, you say, hey, I made this pattern of Squidward. Can I use it as a fan? A lot of companies have fan usage, rights for IP, intellectual property. You ask nicely, folks over at Nickelodeon will say, yeah, sure. For personal use, you're going to make it for your son or this and that. That's great. Just don't distribute it. Just don't, that's where the problem comes with the forum. People see something like that and they say, oh, can I have the pattern? And that's when I immediately shut down the discussion. Because, whether it's Harley Davidson, Disney, Nickelodeon, all of these, they come along, they see that, oh, someone's sharing this design. They contact Facebook. I could literally lose the group. Or we can literally lose the group. I've been warned more than I really want to say. I've been directly warned by Disney, Harley Davidson. I'm not playing games. If you have anything that's recognized as a cartoon character or business logo or sports logo, get permission. You'd be surprised. If you post your Squidward and say, I contacted Nintendo, was that Nintendo? Nickelodeon, and they gave me permission to make this for my son. Who's going to complain? Who's going to even come? And it better be true. If you did, and they say, yeah, use it, make sure you got a copy of that email. Because if push comes to shove, and then someone comes along and says, oh no, you're violating copyright. There's IP infringement here. You say, oh no, here's a copy of the email I got. So end of story. The person that will complain will be Nickelodeon. And if they gave you permission, it's from a Nickelodeon employee or somebody in charge of the copyright department, and they gave you permission, they will never complain. You just say, you got permission, and this is what I made. Just, don't say you got permission if you didn't. But if you, get permission. All you got to do is ask. I bet you Nickelodeon they'd be flattered. They say, oh, show them what you made. Say, I really want to show my friends that are on Facebook. Is it okay if I post this? They'll be like, yeah, sure. Just don't sell it. I mean, you got what was that? Peanuts, Snoopy. They're really bad. I mean, you post Snoopy. I'm surprised they don't nail you for saying Snoopy. You post a picture of the Grinch, Dr. Seuss. They're gonna nail you. They will come out with full force with lawsuits and with fines. So I'm not taking a chance. I see it. It's coming down. And not against. I'm not mad at anyone. You just didn't know. All right. So with that, I hope you folks understand that. It's very important. All right. Let's move on. I'm probably not going to get much done here today because I'm talking a lot off subject. Not off subject, but not on topic of the posts. European Robin. No, that's an open question. No, I don't. Post the image of one. See, here's the deal about IP. You see an image of European Robin. You say, hey, does anyone have a pattern of this bird? It is completely legal to take an image online, Google search image results, and post it in the forum. Don't copy it, just share the image. You could share it, you could copy image location. So what happens is someone clicks on the image, it goes to that page, the person who owns the rights to it. If you copy and paste the image, it's a little different. If you do that, you should give credit to a link below it. But without all that trouble, just copy the image location and then post it. And say, does anyone have a picture of this robin? Under fair use, in copyright laws, you are allowed to use images you found online. It's clearly spelled out in the DCMA rules. You can take an image online and use it, repost the image with the link intact for discussion purposes. If you start saying, hey, copy this, do that, no. You say, I like, this is the bird. Anyone have a pattern of this bird that they, this type of bird? You don't ask someone to make a copy of it. You just say, here's the bird. Right? I have no idea what a European robin looks like. I'm sure it looks like American Robin, but a little, I don't know. I'm not going to Google one. Uh, yeah, intellectual property and protection of IP is such an important thing. Glass expert. I hope someone answers. I can't. These Toyo heads, they're either hit or miss. I've seen them last for 20 years, and some they bind, and I don't know. You might have a bad one. Being the wheel is, it's tungsten carbide. Even though it's a strong steel, if you leave it sitting for too long, like any metal, if you have the housing of the cutter head, maybe a steel composite, I really don't know. It's probably maybe it's got zinc in it because it's not rusting, but whatever it is, any metal on metal will eventually have an oxidation going on. It's called electrolysis, and the tungsten carbide wheel, though it's very tough and resilient to that, it's like the old saying, "A rolling stone gathers no moss." You got to use it, and if you're not going to use it, put it in oil. I mean that'll help the keep the electrolysis down. That's why I always leave my cutter, head first, right into the oil reservoir. I have a bowl of oil. It never evaporates. Just throw the cutter right in there. Come back 2 months, 2 days, 20 years. It's still going to be good. All right, so just throw it in oil. Just make sure that the tip where the wheel is under the layer of oil. Under the surface of the oil. Keep the air away from it. All right. That's my best advice. And if the wheel's bad, just replace it. I think they're $10, maybe 15. I don't know. I've got a few of them. I'm doing an experiment. All right, let's see. We got Crystal Morel. I'm pretty proud of her. Yeah, it's an Etsy page. Very cute, different. Good luck with your sales and your Etsy page. Good luck. First project I've completed from start to finish. Cutting, running solder. How do you make the solder go so smooth? I like it like that. I was never one for really worrying too much on how solder looked. And my brothers, they, oh, look at that bead. I never gave it a high priority. I gave high priority to, your choice of glass. You don't want to see copper showing. You don't want to see solder seeping through it. But if if it looks a little irregular or has issues, tell me. You don't want to see, the seepage. If you're finding the solder seeping through the foil a lot, just move along a little faster. Don't hold your iron in one spot. Hit it with a little more flux if you have to. There are different things. The best thing I found, if you have to jump a void, there's a little trick to it. Instead of going along with the line, go side to side. Hit it gently. Inch your way, step your way up. Not to heat up the whole thing. And just by heating up the next section of solder, it'll mend itself to the last section that's already cooled down. It's a side to side motion. Avoid that touch and go technique. That's insane. I mean, people laugh at that. You're gonna solder. If you want something to bridge a void, put it down quickly, pull it to the side, 90 degrees to your line. If it hangs, if it holds a bubble, you're good. If you want to go real fast, do the whole thing and go to the side, that's good too. The problem happens when you keep going, straight, you end up pulling all that solder with you where your iron is. Solder will go to heat source. That's the idea of solder. It flows onto the foil, but it'll also seek out the heat source. So if you're doing a line that keeps dripping through, solder, it looks good, right? It looks good. All of a sudden, boop, it goes down. Just solder it, pull this iron to the side, and wait, 1, 2, just check. Oh, it's hanging, and move on. That's one of the little tricks. And that's the only real trick about soldering. Other than that, some people, I hear them say, touch and go. What? Down, up, down. No. Put the iron down, add the solder, run. Go for it. As long as fast as your iron can melt that solder, keep soldering. Don't lift up. You're going to get little bubbles everywhere, and you're going to splatters, and you're going to get little seams in your solder. That's the most insane thing I've ever heard. If you're having issues with sinking, try soldering and pull iron off to the side, right on top of the glass. But move it away quickly so you don't crack your glass. But you pull it off to the side. All right? You could take that to the bank. Anyway, I've heard a lot of other solder theories. Lower your temperature. No, you're gonna get all kinds of globs everywhere. If your iron's too hot, people kill me for this, but I dip it right into the flux. Give it a little flux dip, and I real quick, and then hit it with the iron. Cools it right down to where you need to be, and just go. It's typically a good iron on a rheostat, 100 watt, 80 watt, whatever, 60 watt Hakko. You want to give them about 80% on the rheostat. And that's like 8 out of 10. Just keep it around that. If you find it's too hot, if you're doing a lot of intricate work, wire, a little touch of solder here and there, you can lower it down to 75. If you're going, I'm soldering a full window, 3-foot window. I might as well just plug it right to the bench because I'm full tilt. I turn that rheostat right to 100 and I go. Because as you add the solder, it's cooling the iron down. There's your rheostat, adding solder. Don't listen to these people. Oh, you're going to have a 700 watt great tip in it. No. Put it at 80. See how it works for you. If you find that the solder is like not melting quick enough, boot it up to 100. It never go down. You start going down, there's no purpose to it. If you're doing decorative soldering with a small tip and using 6337 solder, which does melt a little easier, under lower temperature than a 6040, you can turn it down and then do your little up and down with your ball, the solder ball. I've seen it done. It's fun to watch. You really need a knack for it. If you find rough soldering, don't be afraid to add the solder, move along, and move fast. And if you got to go back, something seeps down later, go back, hit it with more solder, and pull it off to the side. Quickly. Try not, if any solder wants to blob up or drip onto your glass next to it, get it off. Just make sure you swat it off. You don't want that solder to sit on your glass. You're going to end up cracking it. And as well, if you're one of those folks that like to tap your glass, you're looking for trouble, even by soldering, you may cause your glass to crack. A solder blob on top of it will even do worse. So you get any blobs on your glass, in this snowflake example here, you could actually hit it. If it drops on the glass, quickly grab it with the iron and pull it over to your next line and just drop it there for later on, or for use. You can also pick it up with your iron tip, pointing downward, and pull the tip up and go flat just to pull up on that solder. but you just want to get it off the glass. Don't use your finger. It's really hot. You're gonna burn yourself. Just nip it off. Yeah, don't be afraid to turn up the heat. Don't be afraid to flux your piece. Avoid ruby flux. Avoid zinc chloride fluxes. Ruby flux is horrible. It does this. Use a good oil-based flux or a paste flux. But not oil-based or water-based, but a gel flux. A good one that I use, I found none that even came close to the quality of it, is Glass Pro Flux, made by Creative Craftsman and better known as Ed Hoy of Chicago. They make this, it's a non-zinc chloride flux that doesn't spit, and it solders beautifully. It's very similar to the old oleic acid that you can use as well. I have a problem with oleic acid because it smells wretched, a horrible smell. There are some paste flux that have less zinc chloride. The zinc chloride is more a cleaning feature. It's an acid, additive that helps clear up the impurities of your copper. And it is highly toxic. I don't recommend using it. Even with a mask, this stuff is not good for you. It'll rot your lungs. If you're worried about smell or smoke, yeah, it doesn't smell or smoke as much as the others, but I'll tell you, the fumes of a zinc chloride flux is highly toxic. Use Glass Pro. It doesn't have the zinc chloride. Use natural or non-zinc chloride. There's other ones, I believe Canfield makes one. There's other fluxes. Just check. Just say, does it contain zinc chloride? Avoid zinc chloride, please. It'll make your nose bleed. And I made that up, but it might. It does more damage than that. Yeah, I don't know if it might make your nose bleed. Don't breathe it. But stay away from it. The big culprit is that ruby glass flux. It's horrible. I do not endorse it. Alright, more solder. Yeah, got on the solder. You do a whole video on solder. Alright, jet. I hope if that's yet, I don't know. I think it could be yet. I don't really love this. I usually do sun catches. This fun change. I'm not sure. It's not like this pattern is up my Etsy page. Oh, good. I'm gonna check it out. Oh, okay. That's a snake. Okay. I'm sorry. I had to struggle a little. I had to follow the line around. But I do see it's a snake. Very nice. If it was as I say, you see a snake, it would have bit you already by now. No joke. In the South here, we have these copperheads, and they're not one to mess with. They run from you, but if you trap one, it gets pretty neat. It looks like one of those python things snapping at you. Nasty. I know. I had to take care of one with a shovel one day. And even with the head cut off, it kept on snapping away. For hours. Alright. My snake story. I'm sorry. Silo. Okay. I like bugs. Trying to find a leaf bug, so I decided to make one. Excited to take it to glass. Oh, good job. Yes, it's one of those bugs that you don't see because it looks like a leaf. Good job. Good luck with it. Long was best friend last month. Do you have any patterns for urn? A pattern of an urn itself? Let's just see something really quick here. See now. I always check these kind of requests out. And they starts talking about lost loves and help me. I get a little nervous about it. So I'm sorry to drag you off the forum, but she had, this is what I see. One comment, she agreed to the group rules. It looks legit. I hope it is. I mean, I'm going to view the profile. If I see no friends and this and that, oh, she's from Greensboro. She's from up the road. Alright. She looks real. Okay. Well, good luck. Hope you find your earn pattern. So she is legit. I have to do this, guys, because I see these, oh, you know, this one, they need this, need that, and it turns out to be a spammer. So I lost my place, but I'm going to go there quick. Let's see. Chicken, and I'll do a few more. Bear, solder, snake, meat. Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah, interesting. Earn, you know, I don't know. I guess get an earn drawer. Sorry to hear about your friend's mother. How goes it to you? Okay. Yeah, this one looks familiar, but they're very nice done, nicely done. Maybe it's a pattern that's out there. I don't know. Good job. Gift for Dad. I hope Dad likes it. How do you know? Oh, look. How do I know what temperature to put my iron at? Well, I kind of explained a lot on that very subject. Oh, okay. I explained quite a bit on the iron thing. There's a lot of, let's say, bad advice, but like, yeah, half good advice out there. Okay. Soldering is not something you just pick up and do. It really takes a knack. One thing a lot of folks overlook that I try to point out is being that solder, when it becomes liquefied, you know, or molten, you can manipulate where the solder goes in reference to the tip of your iron simply by laying the tip flat. You know, basically lifting the handle up and down. A hot iron, a working iron, say in the 7.5 to 8 on a rheostat. I don't know what that corresponds to on a Hakko, you know, with the controller, but you know, I would say about 80%. The iron will allow you to pick up solder and drop it simply by lifting the handle. So, you know, practice that. Use plenty of flux, and you know, basically it's a self-learning thing. Just, you know, avoid, you know, some people just give advice like, you know, just touch and go. That was my favorite. Just touch it down and go. Where you going? Yeah, touch it down and solder. You know, put it down, keep feeding solder to it. You know, your iron will naturally cool down from it, so you might want to work fast at first. And if you find your iron's cooling down too quick, you may have to raise the temperature a little. That's the only really good advice. And then pull off to the side if you have an issue with solder seeping. Heard these things, you know, tap and no, just solder, float it. Picture it floating, like, you know, like mercury floats. You know how it bubbles up. Just, you know, work with gravity. Work with a horizontal plane. Probably the hardest thing to do is to do an edge beat on a sun catcher, or you know, where you're defying gravity. You gotta hang that solder on top of the stained glass. that lifting of the tip or the handle to angle the tip downward plays really important to doing edge beading. The thing, what I'm getting at is, if you lift your handle too much, you're going to pour too much solder in one spot. If you have too much solder, you say, I got too much there, lower your handle, pull the solder away, and let it float out underneath the tip. You can't see it because it's under the tip, but trust me, it's there. And, you know, being careful not to drip it, you know, splattering. That's how you do it. You could add solder, you know, touch the iron on the top of the piece, and then pull it along till it runs out of, you know, a buoyancy or a bubble, or just simply understand what it takes to get that to float. And then the side motion as well, instead of drawing it down the line of where you got to solder, the side motion of the iron, the tip of the iron, helps with that beading. And just remember, the most important thing is keep that tip. You know, that's part of the iron of soldering, lifting and lowering the handle. That's going to really justify, regulate how much solder goes where you want it to go. Right? That's something no one teaches. If I did class, I don't do classes. I just don't. I can't. I get frustrated. You know, I hire instructors. I make sure they know what they're doing. They ask me. They say, "What about this? What about that?" And once I tell them, they got it right and they do it. And so the instructors I hired had, you know, good backing, and in any you know moment they could ask me, you know, what do you think about this? But I just find it very frustrating to teach, because one of the major parts of teaching is glass cutting, and I have a set way how I do it, and I teach how my mom, if I did teach, I teach how my mom cut glass, you know, with pencil cutters and the push method. I just get, you know, I get frustrated because the way I I cut extremely accurate. I mean, I go on how accurate it is, but it's extremely accurate. And when I do it, you know, how do you resist the temptation to show how you cut in a group of people learning? You show them, and the problem is they all want to cut like you now. They all want to do your chart. Say, that's how I want to cut. So I can't even show it. I do, and I taught a few how to do it, and they won't never go back to push cutting. You know, push cutting is for beginners. If you have no skill, push cut. You know, you want to follow a trace line, push cut. You know, you could glue down your templates. You're still going to have to end up grinding. You're going to be limited in what slight curves you can do. I know I'm getting off the subject of irons, but it's kind of morphed into teaching aspect of tools that you use. Draw cutting, as I do, it opens the door to very, you know, exact tolerances, extreme accuracy, and the versatility of doing slight curves in the glass without moving your whole body and limiting you to what you can do at the moment and relying on a grinder. I don't grind. It's hard to people believe that, but I cut it right. I am pinpoint accurate with draw cutting. It's impossible to do that with a push cutting glass cutter. People that claim to be professionals and still push cut, they're not being truthful. Well, you know, they're just not professionals. I mean, I'll take it back. They are professionals. They're making money doing what they're doing, but they're not exceptional. Okay, you're not the Tiger Woods of golf. You want to be really good at glass cutting? Draw the cutter. You know, that's all I can say. I mean, it's not it's not an opinion. It really is not. So if you want to be really accurate, successful cutting to glass, draw the pattern. Draw the cutter. Oh, Frankie. See, I start scrolling. I don't mean to. It's like a habit. That's called a spider. It's a lamp spider. They come in different size lengths. The length of the oh, I can do that. This arm here comes longer, and you just cut them off. It's called a lamp spider. All right, Delphi. All your retailers have them. Yeah, it's nice. You measure the distance. Don't just put it up there and cut it. You might not be centered. You want to measure your distance and divide it in half. Make sure you get perfect center. All right, and then cut it with a hacksaw or real good pair of nipper pliers. Like those big blue, like look like a double chisel plier that'll cut that, or like one of those chain cutters. It's not going to cut with your regular nipper pliers. It's pretty strong. All right, so hacksaw is probably the best in a vise. All right. I have a few of them. If you can't find them, I have quite a few. Let me know. I'll send you one. There you go. 4-way spider. Yeah. Excuse me. Work that is in my house. This was my first lamp. Very nice, Frankie. I'm trying to find this thing. 12 years old. Huh. Very nice. Looks like an old Odyssey. Maybe a Warden. I don't know. Looks like a nice base. Yeah, Genie, if you want to look at, I believe that looks like a 16, it could be an 18, Dragonfly. They come in different shapes. That's got the return skirt on it. You just go online. Typically the Odyssey forms, the better made ones, fiberglass. But I believe Warden makes similar with the styrofoam in sections. Or you can make your own form and do it the way they did it many, many years ago. I should actually do a video on that, but there's a lot to do. It would be very long. We've made a few lamps. Made a few of these hanging lamps. Plants on my craft show, and they sell right away. Yeah, they do. They've been popular forever. It's just the airiness to them, and they don't need water. Corny today. Good job, Judy. 45. Let's see, how long are we in this now? Oh, okay, we got a few more minutes. Yeah, you know what I would do? I'd mark them, put $50 on it. I'd even say $75. I mean, don't sell yourself cheap. And if someone, say, look, make me an offer. You can't insult me. This is what I feel it's worth. 25 is a steal. Unless it's tiny, doesn't look really small. Always, the beauty of haggling, it's not an ugly word. Someone would say, look, I'll give you $10. You say, you laugh at him. You say, you asking 75. Later in the day you could slash, make it 50. Or say, look, if you like it, make me an offer. Don't be afraid to throw that out there. Somebody likes it, they're going to be looking at it. If they look at the price and say, make a comment and run away, all right, well, it's not for them. I don't do craft fairs, but I'm good at negotiating, I think. Say, make an offer. What boards do you all cut on? Waffle board, cutting board. Yeah, I use 1/4-inch masonite. It's actually, they call it brown board. You sell it at Lowe's and Home Depot. You got a 4x8 sheet of brown board and 1/4-inch. I don't know if it's still around $20-25, but it's probably higher now. But you lay it right down on a 4x8 bench top, and you take small brads and just tack it down. It lays down pretty much on its own, but the brads are there just in the far corners just to keep it from moving around. And the heaviness of 1/4-inch, don't get 1/8-inch. That starts bowing and buckling. Get 1/4-inch, it'll last you forever. I mean, it takes well to push pins for putting projects together. You got to tap them in a little bit, gently. You can cut right on it. The glass cutter doesn't chew it up. Then you can go right to drawing on it. It's called brown board, masonite, 1/4-inch. You can get a 4x4 piece. You can ask them to cut it in 4 pieces for you, so you can share it. That's what I would use. All these waffle grids. I tell you that I had it's a student. I not one of mine. I casually watch, and she had a waffle board, and I was like, "Be careful! You don't want to leave the shards in there. There's a long shard pointing upwards. You're going to catch your wrist on that. Your hand, your pinky." "Oh, I'm careful. I'm careful." Well, 10 Band-Aids later. That's why I don't like waffle grids. When you cut glass, I know it keeps the shards away and the little chips. You don't scratch it. I get it. But when you're cutting glass, whenever you cut, have the hand brush there. Have it ready. I mean, swipe where you're cutting every time you cut, if you need to. And just use it consistently. And swipe it off into a container of sorts. You put a bucket under the bench, or I'd sweep it right on the floor, because my workshop, I'll sweep the whole shop later on. You just just avoid kicking it. You just sweep it under the bench and pull it out later for the big clean once a week. You could put a bucket down, or lift up a large. They have these large aluminum dust pans. You put it right to the edge of the bench and sweep your glass chips and shards into that, and then dump it into a garbage can. Those waffle grids, I really don't like them. I mean, I'm not going to throw Morton System under the bus, but honestly, they're not. For me, I find them to be more of a hazard and really serves no great purpose. So, and I don't know how you cut on them. It's just, they seem very slick. You want a little consistency, resistance under your glass when you cut. I cut right to the edge of a bench too, so it's impossible to put it. You could put it to the edge of your bench, but it's going to move around on you. No, I don't know. If it, I'll use it if it works for you. People say it works for me. I don't want that argument. I'm giving you my reasons why I don't like them. I'm giving you my recommendations for what to do for a cutting surface. My favorite thing is, I've been doing it this way for 25 years, and do what works for you. Well, then don't ask. If you don't want an honest opinion, don't ask. I get in trouble all the time. Oh, that works for me. No, all right. I'm giving you my opinion. Let's see. Made with leftover glass. I'm trying to read this. Shelling marbles. What is that? Just a container? Interesting. Let's see a little more information. Alright. This is a short video by Lenka. I think she now makes something else. I don't know. It's very pretty. I don't mean to scroll by it, but I've seen a lot of it. I don't know, something for flower beds. Yeah. You're going to find a lot of replies to that. Garden stakes. You got stepping stones, garden stakes. Signs. You can make copper tube frames to hang stuff. I've seen all that stuff. This is Johanna Gnaggy. This one, you know what? There's not a. This Johanna, it's a real person, by the way. It's a real person causing all the problems. Just keep. If you see it pop up, hit the three buttons. Hit those three buttons right there. Report it. Report it as scam, fake, whatever you got to do. Just keep reporting it. Eventually, it's going to catch up to them. I saw this from yesterday. I cheated. I did a little glass fill. I showed using a blue water glass. That's what I would do. Water glass is great for background like this because it doesn't distract from the main subject. And you don't use dark blue. Use a very almost clear, light blue. I think it would look very pretty with something like this. You really want to avoid any heavy colors because of the red and the wings. You want those colors to stand out. You want something neutral. Without going completely plain glass or a G&A or Arctique. The water glass really leads to a nice look on these kind of patterns. That's my opinion. Actually, I'm going to go back and say, I'll show you what. Oh, she's got 91 comments. See you could use an opaque. The blue's a little heavy. That'll fight with that red. Be careful. And this is okay too, but that way it's going to be distracting. You want the wings and the girl to stand out. This to me is just a little distracting. I'm not going to go further with that. It's pretty. Something super light, barely blue is set up to clear another. There you go. You're right. I'm gonna give that one a like. There it is. I want to try to find my post, show you what I did. You got to go back in time and ask Tiffany to make that. Oh, it's got to be here. Shades of pink, iridescent clear granite. Stay away from real textures. Just you want it to just be there. You don't want to pull away. That me? Oh, there it is. Okay. I put this one in. That's blue water glass. It shows up white, but it's very, very light and wispy. That's my best suggestion. Now let's just close that out. I'm showing off. Foiling edges. What tool do you use? That's a gadget. I've never seen that one. I wrap my fingers in duct tape. That's all you need. I think burnishing is overstated. You want the foil to lay flat, but I see people burnish until you know you're almost cutting the edge of the foil with the glass from over burnishing. Got to get it on there. Got to make sure it sticks. You just got to make sure it's down. It doesn't have to be perfectly burnished. Because there are a lot of times that the contour and shaping of glass, the texture, doesn't allow for it. Let's see. Julie's here. But I really want to learn the lead process. Do you offer online classes? Gary, or you don't? Can you recommend someone that may do online? Yeah, there's one that really comes to mind is a Wabi Sabi. These gentlemen, I apologize, I don't remember his name, but he's in North Carolina. He has workshops on video. I believe you could download it, but just look for Wabi Sabi. He really knows what he's doing. There's I would say there's very few, but there's a lot of people that they're okay with lead, but this guy, he's got his finger on the pulse. All right, I admire his skill. He's he's shown some neat tricks, and I was like, oh yeah, look at that. I thought I was the only one that knew that. So I give him a lot of credit. Check him out. Wabi Sabi. Wabi Sabi Workshops. You could tell him I sent you. You don't have to. See, I'm trying to find my place. Back to burnishing. I mean, if you have granite glass, how are you going to burnish and get that foil to contour to every nook and cranny of granite glass? You can't. It's impossible. Some people say, "Oh, use a cork and try to get it down." I think that at the end of the day, you foil something, and it's fairly tight on the front, and tight enough or close enough on the back. You start soldering it. The solder itself is going to create a whole new layer of for the H created with the foil. You don't want to see the back of the foil. You just get it down and solder it. You don't want to see it bumping up everywhere either, but or in corners and this and that. So you just want to make sure it's down. The foil contraptions they make, if you like it, use it. I put duct tape on my fingers. That's it. It fits. A lot of people say, "Oh, this works for me." And, my mom used a Sharpie pen. That's all she used, and that's what she liked. A well burnished. You can over burnish, but a well burnished piece on a sun catcher will actually look nice, but you're not going to get it all if you have textured glass. That's all. Alright, glass cutting. I have a faux stained glass painting that has a cracked glass. And to admit the crack. Is it painted? Huh. You know what? These kind of posts, you got to post an image. You got to take a picture and post it. I have really no idea if that colored glue you speak of. It's probably SGO, stained glass overlay. It's an epoxy. If you cut it on the side that doesn't have it, there's a good chance you may be able to get it to break right where it's supposed to. Try it. I mean, it can't be worse than a crack. If it doesn't work, so be it. You tried. There you go. Gene You say, score it on the back. Maybe you can try. Yeah, there you go. Good advice, Gene. Yeah, right here. You can see that. Good advice. Ugh, making patterns easier. Hand drawing. I'm new to this. 6-piece snowflakes and da. Well, like everything else, Chelsea. Practice. If your question is about making the lines thinner, I would recommend, if you don't have a Mac or software to do that for you, if you can shade it down somewhat, your pattern, tint it down, retrace over with a gel pen, scan it back into your computer and clean it up. If you have that option, that would be my best advice. The software also that I use, you can manipulate the shape of each line. So if you want to look into it, it's called Pixelmator. It's well worth the investment of $50. It does everything and more that Adobe products do. So that's what I use. Good luck. The kitty's cute, by the way. Mystical mushrooms. Let's see. Oh, Phoenix, yeah. Well, look at you go. That's pretty. You got the little bee in there, too. Well done. Phoenix Salt Catcher, she does some nice patterns. Check out her Etsy page. I've never done twisted wire. What gauge is best to twist? Well, it depends on what you're making. If it's a small piece, say under 8x8, a small sun catcher, maybe go with a 16 to 18 gauge wire, thin wire. 20, you may lose it. You could probably still twist 20. That's what I would do. A heavier piece, you can go up to 12 gauge wire if you want. Just put one end in a vise, the other end in a drill, and start spinning it. It does add to the piece. And Lori asked me to help her with this. I'm a little tied up with patterns. I'm going to try to revisit it, but if there's someone in the forum, yeah, there you go. Kat jumped right in. If anyone can make that pattern, it's Kat. She's really good at it. I strongly recommend looking into her making your pattern. And I can do it. It'll probably look different, but there's a few areas of this. I guess it's a hen that you want to emphasize. It's just a matter of drawing the key elements. Coming around. There we go. I got my mouse in the wrong spot. But it's really not that hard to do. I would say one of the key elements is this flipped over feather. This shaping of this area and this touch. I'd say in a matter of 20, 30 pieces, you get a pretty nice looking pattern. I'm sorry I didn't get right to it, Lori, but let's see what Kat comes up with. All right, and I don't want to do one if she does it. I'll just maybe I'll try later. I'll see. I'm having an issue with blurred vision. I don't know what it is. It's just I find when I work on patterns too long, on the computer too long, my vision becomes blurry. That's not good. I try drops. It doesn't work. I think it makes it worse. Let's see. What do we got here? Michelle, what the first ever tool? Oh, good. Welcome to the club. Yeah, you keep playing with glass. This one's a shout out to Rodney. Yeah, this is the other one. I mean, anybody watching or on the group, the forum, this Life with Outdoor, you have to report it. You really, 6,000 followers, and the followers think that this Life with Outdoor people are doing this work. They took Rodney's post, his heart's here, and the last 10 are done. And oh yeah, courtesy Rod. No, you stole the image. You plagiarized his text. That should not be allowed. You want to share Rodney's picture of his hearts on your page, Life with Outdoor? Yeah, share the picture, but post it with your content. It's that simple. You can share images, but when someone clicks on that image, it's going to take them to Rodney's post. Stop ripping people off. I'm going after you. Life with Outdoor and the Gnaggies and all the other people. I will not rest until you are done. That reminds me. I'm going to go back. I'm going to really. LifeWithOutdoor.com doesn't even exist. And what does Facebook need to prove them that this is a fake profile? I reported probably this one at least 20 times. Oh, I got the notification. Oh, sorry, it doesn't go against our standards. Here's what you can do. You can block them. You can do. No, take them down. No, they don't post other people's art. I'm going to read this one. They say they just post other people's art and give credit. No, they are stealing. Because the thing is, they're taking the actual image, reposting the image, and they're not giving credit. Yeah, in a word or two. But they're ripping off the text content. That, believe it or not, that's intellectual property. Christine, you really need to be clear. You need to be cleared up on this. And if by any means, if you go there and like comment to that page, I'm going to ban you from this group, right? Because I check. I say, oh, okay. So you're endorsing the theft. Well, guess what? I find out. I link it back to here, and I'm not being mean. I'm being firm. It's a scam. It's plagiarism. It's IP theft. It should not be allowed on Facebook. Period. Period. Cindy's right. And you know what, Cindy, let's see if is that the right mouse? I got two mouses floating around. Yeah. Yeah, you know what, it's not funny. I mean, I know you tongue in cheek here, but you know what? It's a serious offense. Not good. I will not rest until these people are done. I mean, it borders on litigation. They are stealing IP. Ugh, I'm done with that. Oh, look at that. find inspiration in reading group. Then I'm gone. I'm Billy Reed, this guy's going. Opinions. I'm gonna have to look. I thought I recognized that. Oh, that's the plant hanger. Oh, the holder, the air plant. Very nice. Look at you go. See, all of my spinner patterns, being that they're shaped, on a 90-degree angle, or you can make them squattier. You could add the air plant hanger to them and make dangles from it. Very nice job. Did a good job. Very nice. Let's go back. See, that's what I speak of, the creativity part of my patterns. It ends when I digitize it. It's done. I'm done with it. When you guys do your creative stuff, your colors, your wires, your hangers, your dangles, your air plant hanger adaptation, that's the true creative side of this whole thing we call stained glass. I'm very impressed. Thank you for sharing. Oh, Julie's here. We've done couple. I really enjoy watching. I spent most of my life creating wonderful art. I love glass for so many reasons. Hope you make many videos. I will be watching. Well, Julie, you're going to get a gift. Thank you for your feedback on the live chat. I will be sending something your way. Please message me your address. It can be a book or a tool or a bunch of digital patterns. Let me know what you like. You mentioned lead. Yeah, I've got a few nice lead patterns for you. So again, thank you for your feedback in the chat. I appreciate it more than I can say. And please send me your address. I want to send you something nice, okay? Thanks again. Aquarius pattern. See, now I'm going to give an example of IP. This image is probably owned by somebody, but they're using it for conversation purposes. Alright? And here's the deal. If somebody says, well, trace that and make a pattern, that's when I put the brakes on. You can't do that. If you're saying, anyone have a pattern of, with the Aquarius symbol, it's all good. And you're using this image to demonstrate what you're kind of looking for. Once somebody says, print it, blow it up, the post gets removed. Okay, guys? That's it. You could mention it in your post. But I may just delete somebody and say, just bring it to Staples and print it. No, you can't do that. You're not supposed to. Okay? I mean, this post is fine. Once it goes into the area of, stealing it, I gotta shut it down or, remove comments. Okay? It's very important. We as a group cannot get in trouble for this. You shared an image you found online. You're talking about it. You're using it for discussion purposes. That's called fair use. Okay? You can give credit to that pattern. Hopefully it's an image. I mean, I'm going to click on it just because. I could look to see where it is. It's I don't know where you got it. What you should do is actually post. Let me just say. So it looks like a Google screenshot. Um, Really, you should try to get that pattern and say, this is where I got it, if you can. All right. All right. Back to this. All right. Down to a few more minutes. Background color, blue or turquoise. Blue or turquoise. Turquoise is a tough color to work with. You need a really strong opposite color in the spectrum wheel to make it work really well. Uh, One that comes to mind is like purple or orange. I know it sounds terrible, but with turquoise, if you do use a splash of orange and purples, a lavender, or a deep ruby, it works really well. I don't see any in the horse, so your safer bet is to go with the blue. Right? In my opinion. And you can go darker turquoise as suggested by Dawn, but try not to. I mean, it would be your main field color. There's really no complementary colors involved with the horse, so you may want to just use a teal, a light teal water glass, something that's not too distracting. Take a sip of the coffee break. All right, let's do a few more. I don't think you get in trouble for that. Unless you're selling controllers or remaking them, I think that's fine. I mean, I don't know. That one, I'm not even going to touch that one. I don't think that's something that would define copyright. So, I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't really see that being an issue. Here's I actually made a video of it. Did I? Yeah, I made a video. What to do with these people. Yeah, I found a source and everything. And I hope everybody, when they see that stuff, just keep report. Eventually, I hope it'll take hold. I know good old Mark Zuckerberg is probably up to his ears in pending litigation because he publicly came out and said that he was approached by, and I am not getting political, he was approached by a political affiliation to censor free speech. He literally said it. He was being tormented. He almost bringing his team to tears. Remove the content. Even if the content's true, you got to remove it. That's a direct attack on the First Amendment. I'm a victim of it. There are a lot of people that lost time, income. You're posting, for example, like the laptop. Everybody knows was real. Well, from day one, they found out about it. It was real. It was disinformation. The FBI, 50 some odd FBI agents. Oh, that's Russian disinformation. It's disinformation. Well, if you followed the story, you saw the computer company had the hard drive. Rudy Giuliani had a copy. It's out there, and it wasn't brought to light to win an election. It's just something that happened. And the content inside that laptop was very, discriminating. You know, it was harmful to the folks mentioned. And by all counts, it should have been publicized. The FBI and the Department of Justice, you know, the Mayorkas, not Mayorkas, he's Homeland Security. The other one, the other SOB that's going to be in prison, I believe, Merrick Garland, the Attorney General, by his orders made these people lie. And they actually dragged Facebook through the mud. And with the upcoming administration, all of this stuff is going to come out. And there are going to be lawsuits. And I believe Facebook and Mark Zuckerberg, he's kissing a little butt right now in hopes that they go easy on him. But you know, the lawsuits, they're going to be mounting. And I don't want any money. I mean, he wants to throw me money for the harm he caused me, for putting me in jail for months. Because Facebook was ordered to remove content that was true. You know, the vax, the virus, and a lot of issues that the previous the Biden administration with DHS and the Attorney General, very unscrupulous behavior, how they dealt with people's First Amendment rights. It's not a joke. And up until now, I mean, being that the Trump administration has serious folks on working there. Miss Bondi, who's going to be she's already selected as the Attorney General. She's going to go right for it. She's going right for the jugular. Look, you can't take away people's rights, their freedom of speech. You can't do it. Zuckerberg came right out and said that they did it. He did it. It's on tape. I mean, how could you deny it? It came right from the source. I mean, how do you answer that? Well, before Monday, they couldn't. I mean, you go to the Justice Department, it would just say, go away. We can't be bothered. There's nothing here. Move on. Well, that's not the case come Monday. And I predict, and I'm not even going to, it's going to happen. There's a lot of unsettled business about legalities of how the government was run in the past 4 years. It's not a joke, and it's not a my team, your team thing. It's going to happen. People would disenfranchise. A lot of people. Mark Zuckerberg knows that. And, this nonsense, I don't even know what this who she's talking to. He knows that. And, he's complicit. He went along with it. Yeah, if Trump lost, or things never came to light about it all, we just kept going down the road of a corrupt government and legal system, he'd be fine. He'd just skate it and ignore it. But that's not what happened. And there's a lot that's going to happen. Come. I don't wish anybody ilk in that way, but there's a lot of people in the upper seats of government in the past 4 years that need a lot of explaining to do. I say that in broken English. There's got to be accountability. It really does. And I'm not looking at I gotcha, none of that. No, they hurt a lot of people. A lot of people, me included. This the illegal activity going on with the southern border. I mean, I can go on. I don't want to be a political forum right now, but there are a lot of reasons why I am happy to see this corruption end. It's not a go Trump thing. Yeah, I'm going to support Trump because he's the opposing party. I'm not a Trump fan. I've made that clear. I admire him, but honestly, I find his bombastic attitude, the way he blow the eights, and is worried about crowd sizes, and living in golden palaces. I'm the master of the deal. You know what? That's peacocking. I call it peacocking. I don't like peacocks. I love the birds, but I hate people who peacock. Look at me. I'm from 2016. I was a big Ted Cruz supporter. I like the Tea Party. I like the fair tax ideologies. The smaller government. I am a libertarian. People beat me up for being pro-Trump. Yeah, I'm pro-Trump at the moment because he's the guy who's going to take care of this nonsense. And it's not just Trump; it's his whole cabinet. He's got a new attorney general, and she's got fire in her eye. Trust me, she's going to make heads roll. He's got Pete Hegseth, Department of DOD. I mean, Pete is so qualified for the position, and our national defense has been so deteriorated just in the past 4 years over the nonsense of DEI and the view of America and our strength in the world, in the world's view. It's sickening. It's horrifying. I'm honestly surprised we haven't been attacked. Maybe today. I mean, the only thing saving us that, Biden may be that reckless he just starts dropping nuclear bombs. I don't know. I would hope that's not the case. But I apologize for getting a little off subject. Anybody wants to have a one-on-one with me about politics, I am open to it. I'm very versed in all the angles of the pluses and minuses of government and how government works, and it's not a hobby of mine. It's more of a passion. It's just to right the wrong. There's been a lot of wrong being done, and Facebook has been they've been a catalyst for it. This is going back to that censorship and plagiarism we speak of above here. Mark Zuckerberg. Okay, all right, so you're coming clean. No more fact checkers. Biden comes on TV, his farewell thing. Oh, yeah, they're getting rid of fact checkers. You mean the same fact checkers that have been covering up lies? That have been removing people for speaking truth? You mean those fact checkers? They're not fact checkers. They're not. Fact check something, you call it a lie when it's the truth. How can that be a fact? How can it be checking a fact? All right, enough of that. Jerry O'Connor. I have a few books left for sale. Hey Jerry, good luck. Some of those old books, I tell you, I wish I still had all of my mom's. She had enough to fill a Volkswagen, and when she passed, and my dad moved, I got them all, and I ended up just giving them away. It's like I don't use patterns. I'm gonna sell them. They're my mom's. You know what? If you could use them, good luck with them. I'm probably 500. So I still have some. I have a few. I just didn't even get to them all. But have some of those big Judy Miller patterns, the full-size patterns, Carolyn Kyle, from the 80s. So the price tags on them. Maybe I'll give them away. Yeah, those fact checks. I know, right, Cindy? You know what? If you're gonna check facts, make sure you're checking facts. Make sure you don't have an agenda attached to your fact checking. That's all. I just find the whole thing was very pathetic. Unfortunate. It's really sad that they're using tools to. You talk about divide. If anything, the people that were right, talking about the vax and talking about this and everything that they turned fact checkers on them for. I just remember the laptop because. It's right there, the proof. You have everything. You have the laptop. You have the guy. Oh, that's a Russian laptop. Come on. And then you post the New York Post. What got me jail? The New York Post posted an article about it. Oh yeah, look. Put 1 and 2 to 3 together. Rudy Giuliani. They tried to throw him in jail over that kind of stuff, and they tried to implicate him in the Georgia elections and. Basically there was a payback. Hey, you're gonna, take Hunter's hard drive. Here's a payback. That's why they did it. And all that stuff that they're saying, we all knew. I shared the New York Post article. Say, look, boom, I went to Facebook jail for 30 days, and the reason given was that it's false information, spreading false information. It wasn't false. It was the truth. Turned out, it was true back then, and so obvious it was true. But and I'll keep saying it, the Biden administration came along, told Facebook, remove this stuff, or for whatever reason or warning. Facebook removed it, and they got the fact checker say, oh no, that's Russian. Come on. Not an idiot. Being that you get put in Facebook jail for spreading lies or false information, you're now blacklisted. So anything I said was scrutinized. I said early on, I don't trust the vaccine. I don't trust. It should be, they should put 10 years into it. Really understand what mRNA does to a human body. I looked into it. I didn't just blindly. Blah, 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 the fake vax, the faux vax. I didn't do that. I was like, oh, well, look at that. This stuff, it's bad for your heart. How come they're not talking about that? How come they're not mentioning that there's possible side effects? Or, there are clear side effects that you really should be concerned with. And then also saying that children should not take it at all because of the dangers involved and the reason that the virus wouldn't even affect them, even if they got sick. The natural immunity was that powerful. When you're born with, your immune system is on Superman mode. And anyone under the age of 30 can easily attack this virus and get rid of it. They didn't need to be vaccinated. The doctors saying that. Worldly doctors saying that. But no. They're pushing this vaccine for kids in school. They're telling the schools to vaccinate every kid that walks in the door. Why? I really wish I knew why. Hopefully one day we'll find out. Unfortunately, I hope it's not the wrong things, but why are they doing that? They're feeding the pharma, the vaccine companies. Why? Especially when there's proof out there that it doesn't work, or it may work, or it kind of worked, but it has a lot of dangers attached to it. And then nowadays, you look now and say, it really didn't do anything. We were better off with natural immunity. And I'm not even going to go into the face mask thing. That was all nonsense. They broke families up over that. You know, I'm not a doctor or a scientist, but I could clearly see that N95 mask ain't going to do squat for any kind of airborne virus, given or taken. I got put in jail for that. I got put in jail for a lot of stuff like that. I'm a conspiracy theorist. And, you know, it's just like, look, here's an article saying the mRNA vaccine does this. From this doctor who actually spent his whole life studying this mRNA vaccine. And he says this. And I got put in jail for false information. And I went to Facebook jail probably a good half dozen times. My friends joke, they're giving me Facebook jail badges. Here you go, hey, you earned this. It's not funny. No, I stopped. My First Amendment right was taken away. I no longer could speak my mind. And then when it all came true, a lot of these, you know, things that were false information, all came true. You can't even say, hey, I was right. I mean, you can't, but big deal. The damage is already done. So yeah, fact checkers, you got a place in my heart, special place. It's not your fault. You know, they say drinking the Kool-Aid. You're doing your job. You're supposed to, you know, work the narrative. You know, I'm not a conspiracy freak. I don't believe in a lot of things conspiracy people believe in. But when things are factual and make sense, you know, you kind of go with it. You know, this whole thing, those scammy, the disingenuousness of people scamming and the ineptness of Facebook to really recognize the actual scammers and what they should remove. So I got on a tangent. Here's another one. I mean, come on. I mean, there should be a special, you know, a feedback. There's no way, you know, believe it or not, being a administrator of over, we got 160,000 members. There's no way of me saying, hey, Facebook, you know, click on something. I need an email. We need to discuss something. I have no way of doing that. I have no direct contact. I mean, you'd think I would. I mean, everybody should have the way to contact Facebook and voice an opinion and get serious feedback. When you report something, they say, you know, you disagree, you could comment. It comes back as we didn't remove it, didn't go against our standards. It's like a generalized response. It clearly goes against your standards. It's a fake page. You play the fact checker game, you're playing this game. Well, honestly, I hope Facebook gets it right. You know, too much to lose here. You know, fix it. Rid of the scammers. I hate scammers. This one was stolen too. I can't even, you know. I saw this one stolen. This one's the real one. Sometimes you have to, you know, wonder, is that a real poster? You know, did you steal that from somebody? I don't know. It's pretty. You know, I hope. It's that person. Yeah, it's very pretty. You're stuck in the shadow of me ranting about Facebook and their integrity. My apologies. I'm not going to answer that. You know, you got to shop, a marketplace, right? Hey, where do you live? You know, you got this. I'm going to give a little bit of advice for people on the forum. Someone asks, they say stupid question. You know, like, you know, they're telling you it's already a stupid question because it is a stupid question. Where's the best and cheapest to buy glass? All right. If you're legit, Okay, it's a dumb question. I'll say it is a stupid question. But you look around. Go to Marketplace, look for a good score. Someone's selling something cheap. Go to garage sales. Go look online. Ask, look for bargains and deals and sales. If you're on Facebook, you should have access to all of this stuff. Everybody's going to say, yeah, I bought it here, and, go to your area, go to Craigslist, garage, everything I just said, right? Prepare to act quick. Yeah, just all the above, right? And, sometimes, the reason why I mentioned it, the stupid question thing, because sometimes it's beyond a stupid question. They're baiting people to get messaged privately, say, hey, I got this, send me a message. And then they get trapped into some kind of scam. So, I mean, I'm really close to just deleting this post because it edges on something weird going on. So Diane, if you're listening or watching or reading, someone answers your question, I want to see replies. I see days go by without a reply from you. Actually, I'm going to go to the forum. I'm going to read them. I'll say, yeah, all right. Where do you live? Let's see. Diane didn't... I'm in mid-Missouri. All right. There you go. Can you private message me? See, my point exactly. So this Diane Boone, I'm a bit of a detective too. I'm going to go check her out. So I'll give everybody a fair shot. But there's a good chance this cat does not exist. Diane Boone's a phony account. There's a chance. Alright? There's a chance. And she replied. Okay. Once you ask for a PM, Gary's red flag comes up. So we're going to go, because that's how you get scammed. People get comfy and, I'm buddy now, look at my profile, I got cats. And then they turn out to be scammers. Let's see. I have to look. She looks legit. She looked legit. He's goofy. But honestly, I also draw attention to the fact that there's no about, no workplaces, nothing. Basically, she don't exist. I'm not telling you to share all the information. You could pretty much say, you could be safe in Facebook and say, yeah, I'm from Wisconsin, what have you. Right? That's safe. There are other ways they can get to you. So, I'm going to have to delete it because there's not enough criteria on your personal profile to legitimize you as a real person. Anyone could grab 1 million photos and, post stuff. And being I lost my spot, I took the chance. I had to. Even though she replied, the PM and the fact that you have no legitimate profile, anything that people can say, hey, this is a real person, I'm going to delete it. Hopefully I'll get to it quick enough. My apologies, guys. That's what I have to do. My biggest fear, and I've seen it, people say, oh yeah, I'm me, and I got a pretty cat on my profile picture, and I'm looking for this and that. Message me what you got, and boom, they get scammed. It's happened here. People ask for a private message. Check their profile out. You check mine out. Tells you my school, my this and that. Gives you everything. Everything you want to know about me. I'm real. I have nothing to hide. So I ask you to message me, send me your address. I don't want you to put it on the forum, for privacy purposes. You message me. You know I'm real. I'm not trying to scam you. I'm not. Well, I'm not. And check my profile before you message somebody. Just click on that profile. All right, just check them out. Well, it's down further than I thought. I think this is it. All right. I'm not going to delete it. I'm going to look at the comments. It's going to stay here. I'm going to remove that comment. I'm just going to say no PM requests. Thank you. I do my best. And she may come back and say, "Oh, why did you do that?" Well, I checked out your profile. Yeah, Mid-Missouri. You could say what high school you went to. If it's your real name, call yourself Boone Diane. I don't know. Just, you're going to ask for PMs, private messages. Make sure you got a profile. All right? Something that shows you're real. Like I said, I could grab 1,000 cute pictures of cats and dogs and people and make a fake page, make it look like I'm real. But you look at my about, I don't exist. All right? And I'll even reply, scammers will even reply in a post. Say, "Oh, I got one that's interesting." And then they scam you. Not saying Diane's a scammer. All the red flags were up. All. Let's see. Tiffany. All right, I'm going to do just a few more. I'm going to hang up this one. It's been a while. I'll go back to the thing. All right. Kind of family photo. Very, very nice. The comments below. Yeah, that's really a tough one. Faces, and you captured the photo. Very nice. Ready for spring. Okay, looks like you just use zinc channeling. Zinc is not the best thing to use outside, just because it will eventually oxidize to a point where it starts deteriorating. I'm not saying it'll happen right away. If you're going to frame something, you could put it in zinc. Lead's a better option, and put it inside a copper frame of some sort, or steel, painted steel, or if you can paint this zinc. It's not the best for outdoor. That's all. You take copper tubing and with copper wire soldered to zinc, or lead, or actually use a copper framing and you use stained glass. It'll be there for a long time. This will last for a while, but not the best thing. Zinc will deteriorate, and mostly because the ironic part of it all, zinc it has a bad reaction with electrolysis with other metals. Lead, though it's not as powerful, say, as steel, it still will act as a electrolysis issue. You'll have electrolysis issues with it. So just be aware of that. You're better off cutting a groove in a PVC pipe. Yeah, I just stumbled onto something. Okay. Anyway, here we go. Another one. And let's have a short video. Bleeding hearts, looks like. Yeah, videos are fine. Alright, and then, oh yeah, we gotta close down. This is last one, Leslie. Final. I'm like, very pretty. You captured the ocean. I feel it. I smell it. Very nice job. Okay. Sorry about going off subject. Actually, it is. I was tuned in with subjects of the forum. This problem we're having with the plagiarism and Facebook being inept over it. They're I don't know if it's intentional or just sloppy. They really need to address it. They also fell prey to being blackmailed, by political parties. So, you know what, Mark Zuckerberg, get with it. I mean, fix this stuff. If you want my advice, get a good lawyer. I'm sure you can afford one. You're going to have problems, and they're on their way. So I hate to see that happen. It's going to be a big hit for Facebook, but it's one that needs to be corrected. There's going to be a really big lawsuit coming your way in regards to freedom of speech. I know it's your platform. You control. They have that Article 20. I don't know, the one that you're not responsible for what's said and done. Well, you are responsible for removing people's rights of free speech, which you have done through your censorship done from your fact checkers that you admittedly in public claimed or said, you admitted that you used them to control content. So that's where the trouble is, okay? You folks that work there, the happy clickers that they see something they don't like and they click to delete it. You know what? You could do that. It's your forum. It's your thing. But being used in a willfully knew that there was attempts to basically subvert people's ability to exercise their free rights, their constitutional rights. The First Amendment. This is where there will be complications. I wish you well, but inevitably it's gonna be a class action lawsuit. I mean, the writing's on the wall. Best of luck. Hope Facebook survives the storm, or at least comes clean. And beyond an apology, you can compensate folks. Do what you got to do, but overhaul the way you do things. Just saying it's not good enough. I, for one, suffered greatly over being put in jail from fact checkers that knew my content was true, and they acted on it regardless. That's where the issue stands. All right. On that, that's really a sour note, but I had to get that out. So I have a gift of putting two and two together. I mean, if it turns out that he's protected by the clause that allows him to have content that's not true and this and that, so be it. Maybe a public apology would be best. That you still have to answer to the willfully knowing about your fact checkers and how the previous or the current administration held your feet to the fire over it. I mean, this may fall on their shoulders. Hopefully, the DOJ, the Department of Justice, will suffer consequences of it for willfully causing or making, demanding Facebook take these actions. Yeah, this is Merrick Garland. You want to know the name? It's the Attorney General, Merrick Garland. He calls the shots. It's going to be a lot of fireworks in the next couple of months over this and many other constitutional rights that were violated by this man. Looking forward to that. On that, I am signing off. Everybody have a nice day. Didn't mean to go full political, but it happens. We're there. We're at the moment. This is the times we're in. If you want to have this discussion, I am open. I'm not drawing sides. My side is the Constitution. My love for America. My respect of constitutional rights. I mean, that's basically what America is about. I mean, it is your constitutional right for free speech, the expression of ideas. I mean, everybody should read the Constitution. I don't have to. I know what's in it. I mean, there's more than just the first two. I didn't say one or two. Number two. There's a lot to it. And the violation of the Constitution and Constitution rights of citizens of America shall not be compromised under no circumstance, which it has been. This is no little thing. It's a serious matter, and it has to be addressed. Hopefully, in the coming weeks and months and years, that it will be. On that, I'm signing off. Have a nice day, folks.